Just having a B-1, B-2 visa on your passport does not actually mean that you can enter the United States for the purpose of business or tourism. No, my friend, there is another interview left for you now, and that interview, believe me or not, it happens once you enter the United States. Once you're at one of the airports, essentially, an officer is going to interview you again over there as well. So it's not the end of the game, essentially, once you have the visa stuck to your passport. You must be prepared for random bag checks and an interview where you will be asked a couple of questions as well, right? And on top of that, these interviews can be easy or hard depending on your day. It's really based on your luck and the CBP official's mood on that day, really. Now, potential reasons why someone may get rejected. You don't need to be scared. These reasons are pretty damn hard in most cases. So most cases you don't have something like this. For instance, criminal activity. If you've illegally worked in the US maybe, or if there were travel bans imposed on your country. Could be a case of missing documents that you should have on that day, you're not having them. Of course. Suspicious social media behavior that you may have shown in the past. Lying to the CBP officer, or other things as well. This is not really the complete exhaustive list, but these are just some of the major reasons why someone may get rejected. So what happens if you get rejected? You're refused to enter the United States. First off, you're given a particular time frame that within these many hours you have to vacate the US airport. That means you have to move out of the United States. You could go to another country, you could go to your country, but essentially what that means is that you are not allowed within the country. In extreme cases, there may even be travel bans that may be imposed on you. So guys, this is pretty serious. Understand exactly how to answer the questions that are going to be asked, and I'm going to be showing you all of those answers in just a minute. Before we begin, make sure that you subscribe to the channel for more such valuable advice, and you can follow us on Instagram where we have much more of the same content, daily posts, and again, you will be updated regarding any visa issues that you may face in the future as well. So guys, let's start with what is the CBP official looking for. Number one, they want to verify your documents. Most cases, you should have your documents. As long as you have them, simple questions, you can answer them, you're good to go. Number two, they want to confirm the purpose of your trip. Whichever visa you're going for, basically, your purpose of trip should be in consonance with that visa type. Number three, their main reason is to detect fraud or any threats that you may pose to the United States itself. Now, let's get on with the questions. The first question you will face is, what is your purpose of this visit to the United States? Again, remember, your answer should match your visa. You cannot say that on a tourism visa, you are in the US to study. You cannot say that you're in the US to work. It's not allowed. Remember, your visa only allows you to do a certain number of things, and you should be aware of that. Question number two, this often comes up and they ask, what is the duration of your trip? Over here, you want to clearly specify the dates, duration, whatever information you have, be very specific, be very clear. And if possible, have return tickets ready, showing them that you will be departing the United States on so-and-so dates. Point number three, they may ask you where you are staying. Now, if you're staying with a hotel, you show them a hotel reservation. If you're staying with a family member, you show them their contact, their address, or any other details that they may ask about this person. Question number four that they may ask you is, how often do you visit the United States? How many times are you coming here? This question is usually to determine that you're not doing anything wrong that is not allowed on your visa type, all right? So you mentioned the details of the past trips, especially your last trip that you had to the United States, if any, will be the major area that they might go deeper into. But that's about it. If you've never visited the US, don't even worry about the question. Finally, they may ask you, do you have any friends or family in the United States itself? Most people that have been rejected and not allowed entry into the United States have lied on this question. So my primary advice is, please guys, do not think that you're over smart over here. Don't lie. Don't really go ahead telling them that, oh, I don't really have anyone. And then on your DS-160, you have mentioned someone's name, or, someone else has mentioned your name. And then they're like, well, this person is your family. At that point, you would try to make excuses, right? And you would say, oh, that is far off family. I didn't think you were asking about anyone else. I only wanted to mention blood relatives, etc., etc. But why get into all of that, right? You can easily avoid that. Mention the reality. You're not a threat just because you have family in the United States. I want you to understand that. So many people watching this, you're not a threat to the US if you have family over there, all right? Question number six, they may ask you, do you have anything to declare? Now, this question is quite broad. You might think to yourself, what should I be declaring, right? Now, there's a certain amount of things that are prohibited or restricted in the US. You can take a look at this page over here, which explains them very well. And you can even Google search for this page and you will be able to easily find it. If you are carrying one of these items, or even some certain cases, you need to know how much cash you can carry to the US, because there are limitations. If you're carrying more than that, you want to declare it in most cases. Seventh question that they may ask is, why are you landing in Texas when you need to go to California, right? Anything of that sort, basically, if you're doing that. Again, number one, give the actual reason. A lot of people ask me, what should I say? I ask them back, why are you actually doing that? There must be a reason that you are actually going to place A when you should be in place B, right? So remember, tell them that actual reason. Don't lie over there. Don't try to frame an answer that is not really required to be framed. And finally, show proof if possible. If you're going to meet family, tell them that, hey, I'm meeting my family and then I will go to this business meeting in California, right? My family is in Texas, I'm coming here first. Whatever the reason is, be very clear, show them proof if required, show them proof of travel from one place to the other, date, whatever you might have, if you have any bookings, right? And then, of course, you're good to go. All right, so these are some of the potential questions, guys. This is not an exhaustive list. I want you to understand this. This is not an exhaustive list that basically would cover everything that there could be. And if you're facing issues in your visa attainment, whether it's getting the visa or whether, after the visa, you're scared of the CBP officer, you can connect with us on the number below in the description. If you have any questions, mention them in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.